Hi everybody. So a couple of guys are asking how I remove rivets inset in without damaging the steel or the fabric on the other side. So this is just some scrap steel that I put together. So looking here, hopefully the camera focuses all right. There we go. So I've got one rivet, which is an example of external rivets a lot of the time, which has been ground flush with the surface, so it's smooth on with the surface. This one here is your standard internal rivet, which stands proud a bit. So I'll just cover off the two different bits or adjustments I do. So the equipment I use, so I just got your standard center punch coming through there to a point. I got whatever this punch is called. It's just flat on the end and tapering down. I got just a bit of random scrap steel with a hole drilled out, and that hole is matching the size of the rivet heads on there that we'll use an anvil to punch out a bit. Tool wise, just an angle grinder with flappy discs. These are good because they don't generate too much heat or too much damage onto the steel when you're grinding the rivets. A drill press or a hand drill doesn't really matter. Drill bit you should be using shouldn't be too much larger than the hole, just in case you do punch through, you're not going to be damaging the steel. And obviously safety equipment being ears when you're using the grinder, eyes when you're doing anything, glove if you need it, and bare feet. Safety point, have to be safe. So first up, we'll start with the rivet that is standing proud and hasn't been ground out. So I just chuck on eye protection. Pause. Right, so we've got our eye protection on and ear protection when we're using the grinder. So we're going to start work on this rivet that's standing proud. So we don't need to grind it down flush with the steel, otherwise we start to hit the steel there. If it's hardened, it's not going to take too much out, but we don't want to put any more time on it because it'll start to heat up this. And if it's a synthetic fabric backing, it's going to start to melt or burn through. So minimal time that we can is the best. All I want to do is just grind this rivet so it's got a bit of a flat surface, so now I can center punch it to find out where the center is. So with the grinder, obviously very safe putting my fingers near the grinder, don't mind me. Right. So, center punch, small hammer, come back a little bit. All we're doing is finding where the center of that rivet is. Just going to put a small punch into the middle of that. This is just going to give us something, if we come over here, for the drill bit to bite into. So from here, we're just going to drill a little bit. We don't need to drill all the way through to the rivet. We just need to take enough of it off that we're going to be able to punch it through without damaging the steel. There we go. So as you see here, the rivet's been smashed flat a bit. So we've just taken out enough that the rivet should now malform through and punch through to the other side without damaging the steel. So come back over here. This is some mild steel. Just going to take our angled center punch. Make sure we line up on the other side, at least vaguely correctly. Once you start to punch it out, you'll be able to find the hole easier. And bang. Nice and simple. As you see here, this is the leftover part that I didn't drill out, so that's just the leftover part of the rivet. So the more you can grind that down, the easier it is to punch it out. Sorry, this is magnetic. On the other side, looking through, you see no damage to the material, nice and easy, and we've just knocked that rivet into that hole there. This is just easier because you want to apply as much support around the material as you possibly can. If you're just doing it on the side of an anvil or something like this that isn't applying support, you're going to find that you're going to tear the material out on the other sides. Right, so with this rivet here, it's already ground flat, so obviously I can just skip the part with the grinder, and just let you be a little bit more specific with the drill bit. So once again, finding the center of the hole, trying to be as accurate as you possibly can. Bit of a tap, back over to the drill. Running it down a bit. If you're working with a larger piece of steel, at this stage it might be easiest if you just kind of gently on the side of the anvil give it just, a bit of a tap, and that'll just start to loosen up the rivet a bit. Then you can push it out that little bit so you can line it up easier with the hole in your plate. From there, knock it out, and bang. As you see there's no excess burning on the back of the material or the front of the material. It's not damaged. You've taken out that, and even here where I've countersunk the rivets, let me use the other pointer, where I've countersunk the rivets, there's no damage to any of the steel because I haven't actually touched any of this. I haven't touched any of the material. And that's about it. Thank you.